Hi guys, this is Emmanuel. I purchased a Panasonic Lumix 25mm f1.7 lens, that's a long name, for around £104, and at that price point this lens is a bargain. It's amazing. At £104 this does f1.7, this does sharpness, it's light and compact, it's amazing. And not just for micro four thirds sensors is this a bargain lens, but generally for cinematography it's a really good lens when equipped with a good camera like a GH5. Reviewers call this lens the Nifty 50. When you mount this on a micro four thirds sensor, it produces the 50mm frame equivalent. Now, that is a narrow field of view, but when you're out on the field, when you're taking cinematic portrait shots, it's all you need. It's really good. The most attractive thing about this lens is the f1.7 aperture. What does that mean? It means you're going to get a very shallow depth of field, and it's very easy in reality to actually focus on your subject. The lens supports autofocus, and yes, it does work quickly, but it doesn't produce the shallowest depth of field, and maybe that's just a micro four thirds thing. You can use manual focus, but I wouldn't recommend it because the turning circle firstly is quite long. It's not the most convenient to use, and there's also a slightly more complicated process called turning by wire. It's better to use for autofocus than it is for manual focus. Some people have complained about the stability of this lens. Personally, because I use this with a GH5, and when you connect it with IBIS, the stability in my opinion is really good. In fact, it's amazing. When I'm out on the field, I don't even need to use a tripod to focus onto my subject. It's really impressive. When it comes to sharpness, this lens is really what you would expect for a prime lens. If you change the aperture from f.6 to around f8, f9, yes, there will be a reduction in light coming into the lens, but you will find an increase in sharpness of faraway objects. So I'm talking buildings, cars. They're going to be sharper, they're going to be more crisp, and when you're stationary you don't really need to worry about stabilization for this lens, and especially if you combine this with a camera that does have stabilization such as a GH5 with the IBIS system. This means you don't get that warpy footage when you're focusing on faraway objects. In fact, you don't even need to worry about faraway objects because this is a prime lens and you're not going to be zooming anyway. This lens is a really versatile lens when it comes to micro four thirds cinematic videography. You could go on holiday and just take this lens with you, and with the 25mm field of view and the f1.7 aperture, you can get some really amazing shots. It's all you need. However, when it comes to vlogging, you can't really use this lens. You can stick this lens in front of you and hold it, but if you want to focus on your face, you have to stretch your hand really far away. It's not comfortable, it's not practical. You can just about get away with it, and it does get that really cool bokeh effect, but it's not really ideal. However, for everything else, it's great. When you sit in front of the camera, stand in front of the camera, you get, as I said, that really cool field of view. As you can see, my background's blurred, and the only problem really is the GH5 with its poor autofocus system. Overall, if you're looking for a budget-oriented lens, which is going to get you some really cool cinematic shots and bokeh, this lens is for you. You can fit this lens on a G7, on a G85, G9, or even a more premium camera like a GH5, and it still works amazing. Thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe, please stay tuned for more tech content. Bye.